Hi, Maddie. How are you doing today on this lovely Tuesday evening? Can you hear me okay? The game sounds okay? Well, okay, I haven't started actually doing any audio from the game, but shh. But yeah, we're gonna be back at it with some Pokemon Fire Red. Dot scratching herself directly into the microphone. Thank you, Dot. Finished dinner. Feel like a boulder, but otherwise I'm good. The old full tummy. Alright. You fine? Jerry's out on game audio. Well, I think the Jerry just came back in. It's like it's Street Fighter 4 or something. Game audio sounds good. Awesome. Why do I only have 5 Pokemon on my team? What was I cooking? I am legit kind of upset that, like, it's been a whole week since I last streamt. Because, like, I was not doing very well Thursday. And I wanted to stream yesterday, but my internet was, like, doing that thing again where it cuts out, like, every 5 to 10 minutes. Which, you know, like, it's just a minor inconvenience when you're sitting at home watching YouTube videos or whatever, but it basically ruins trying to stream. As we've all experienced in the past. Well, you weren't cooking that 6th Pokemon. No, we gotta do our cooking by the book. Realized I was way behind, so I refreshed. Well, hopefully I can make you feel even more refreshed. I'm doing a little heart with my hands. I do remember last time that I wanted to go do Pokemon Mansion, but I was just too out of it toward the end of the stream. Oh, that's right. I was in Lavender because I was nicknaming one of the Pokemon. I only had 5 on my team because I wanted to rename Venonat because I ended up giving Venonat and Nidoran the same nickname. Maybe too loud or the game a tad too... I think I'm too close to the microphone. I keep picking up the microphone and moving it because Dot keeps trying to headbutt it. And it's not anchored to anything. You motherfucker. I mean, you probably know my microphone's not anchored to anything because Dot will just come careening out of nowhere and just knock it down. Also, never get that damn chaos coughing right. Or will I? Damn it, my Psyduck is at level 5. I was thinking if my Psyduck was higher level, then I was gonna, you know, throw that in so it couldn't self-destruct. One thing I do miss from newer games is that I really felt like in Fire Red and Leaf Green you could take held items off of Pokemon in a box, but I can't remember how. I think that's why I had Venusaur out front, because I wanted to catch a coughing and just get it with sleep powder before it self-destructs. Ask politely. I should do that. Of course, after mostly just being off doing whatever she wants all day, now that I'm streaming, Dot has to be getting all my attention. Someday we might even get more than 2 steps into this mansion. Bwah, hi Rain. How are you doing today on this lovely Tuesday evening? We're playing some Fire Red, about to explore the Pokemon Mansion. I apologize that it's been a week since I streamed. Just random things outside my control kept kinda getting in my way. Escape rope. Cube. About to go grab food and saw you online. It's true, it's me, a real mouse, right in your area. Become EP. Not you guys, just the coughing. Been like a month. I know, but like I'm not sure really how to describe it, but streaming means a lot to me, and I guess in a way I really do kind of want to push this as one of my full-time jobs. Okay, we got the flinch. If you self-destruct, you motherfucker, I am going to be mildly irritated and move on with my life, but I'll be sour about it for a minute. I'll even wiggle my finger at you, so don't you dare. Hey. Oop. Also figured the source of my ongoing health issues, apparently it might have been a side effect of the anxiety meds. I know a friend of mine had an issue with that too, so I'm not surprised. Its thin, balloon-like body is inflated by horribly toxic gases. It reeks when it is nearby. Let's use the Master Ball. There you go, he can join the T-Squad. T. Do I detect a hint of bias? Okay, go get food now. Okay, Rain, go get your foods. No, certainly no bias with me. Of course not. Of course not. Ah, he startled me. I thought you were a ghost. A ghost? Johnson. Damn it, I really meant to move Propel into the front slot. Hey, how dare you? First of all, I'm the one trying to spread status effects. You're not allowed. And if any of you guys ever thought it was weird that Glare was something exclusive to, like, Ekans for a while and a handful of other similar Pokemon like, Seviper, it's actually because the Japanese name of the move translates to Snake Glare. So it's kind of supposed to be, like, Medusa-related. Thankfully, there's no petrification status in Pokemon, but that's kind of the vibe. It's supposed to be like a Medusa thing. Walked into the kitchen, saw family making pizza, so I guess I'm waiting on food. Yo, I could go for some pizza right now. I actually tried to make sure I had something to eat before the stream. I had myself a big old bowl of rigatoni, but I'm already hungry again. Because that's why I ended up starting at 7:30 instead of my usual, like, 7. Also, I slept most of the day. There's that, too. Because, no, I was talking to Maddie the other day, kind of joking about it, that, like, in the course of, like, 3 days, I went from the girl who never sleeps ever to the eepiest little mouse alive, apparently. Eepy mouse, yeah. You know, I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but it's crazy to me how Intimidate's one of, like, the best abilities in competitive, and it was there since, like, the first generation that had abilities. And Incineroar was the mon that got it nerfed so heavily. I can't get any wins. I was exploring here by myself, but I feel spooked. I ought to go soon. I'm gonna run out to the Pokemon Center. Also, interestingly, those green statues in red, blue, and yellow, they're actually just like the generic Pokemon sprite that they use on a lot of the menus. So it's interesting that they changed them to Mewtwo statues in this game. Too little sleep, too much sleep, gotta find an equal. Disco Elysium or whatever it's called. Yeah. Gotta panic at the disco sometime or something. A secret switch. Press it. Yes, who wouldn't? Also, I do like the statue's eyes lighting up red to show that they're activated, because in the original it didn't really have any indicator if a switch was active or not, so you just kind of had to experiment with it. When you're in a club, we call that pan. I see at the disco. I get it. Get it? Every 3 steps eradicate. You know, speaking of stuff like Intimidate, I remember it wasn't, like, Pokemon wasn't my first RPG, but when I was first playing, like, because Final Fantasy VI was, like, my second RPG ever. My first was Super Mario RPG. The thing is, I was so young and I was playing it, and like when an enemy did something that like lowered your attack or something like that, I was scared because I thought it was like permanently lowering my stats for the rest of the game. The rats are fighting. Okay, go into my bag. Grabbing the balls pocket. It's weird that it still lets you rearrange moves in battle, but won't let you rearrange your balls in battle. Every time I close a game, my Switch is at 6-7. It knows. But I think everyone here should be proud of me because I titled the stream about the spooky mansion, and I actually went straight to the mansion and started doing that at the beginning of the stream instead of doing 15 other things, and then ending the stream not doing the thing in my title. Which is something I've never done before, right? Rearranging your balls, aka bottom surgery. Moving your balls to being internal. If only it just worked like that. Like I said, I don't remember his name, but there's just one guy who looks like Tim Curry from Rocky Horror Picture Show with a giant head in One Piece. And apparently his whatever fruit power, if he like stabs his claws into somebody, it just like completely changes their biological sex. Not just the reproductive part, but it like changes their entire body to whatever it would have been if they had been born in whatever other form. So I'm like, can you be real? Crazy, you have to get surgery to become a bottom. Hey, some of us are just born that way. Sludge exposed to X-rays from the moon transformed into a Grimer. It loves feeding on filthy things. That is so fucking tabloids. Like, Sludge exposed to X-rays from the moon. Ivankov, yeah. Dude, I'll be back in just a sec. I forgot to grab my water tumbler. Hey, I still filled it up and stuff. I just forgot to bring it over here to my desk. Soup as a name, maybe? I was thinking something grape flavored, but I've already used Welch's. As a matter of fact, I've already used it twice accidentally. Oh, and I actually did something. Okay, it's not that big of a deal, but it feels like a big deal for me. I bought myself a new water tumbler. Because the one I had been using was my mom's. It was almost 20 years old. It's a grape flavored Fanta, but it's just called Fanta. Or Fanta grape or something. But yes, I went and bought myself a new water tumbler. I actually spent $12 on myself. And it's hard for me to do stuff like that because, like, I have this weird, horrible blockade in my brain where I have such a hard time getting myself a new something, even if I need it, if my old something still technically works. But that old water tumbler, my mom's, like, the paint's mostly peeled off. It's got, like stains and stuff on the inside, and I just can't get it as clean as it should be, no matter what. Because, like I said, the thing's over 20 years old, and Mom used it literally every day. But yeah, I'm in my new water tumbler era. Been playing a third run of ZA, beat it yesterday. I'm the one with the Meow Stick, so I do still want to play the DLC up to the point where I get the Meow Stick Mega Stone. Yay! She is Pulp. I was trying to think of, like I'm trying to move away from just typecasting her because she's purple, and go to something that would be, like, kind of have the consistency of a Grimer, and I really do not like Pulp in anything I drink. The one with the Spritzy, I need your help evolving the second one, but I don't want to burn out on it. Oh, yeah, you've mentioned that to me before, and I completely forgot. You can just remind me sometime. We probably could do it tonight after the stream if you want. Yo, why did I turn away in this Raticate that's, like, the same level as almost my entire team's just, like, kicking my ass? What happened? Don't like my drinks having texture. Ooh, no, very much also do not like that. It's like, I don't really get the appeal of stuff with boba in it, because that just makes me feel like I'm choking, or that there are bugs in my drink. Like I said, I just think of that one running joke from that episode of the regular show. It's like, why are there balls in my mouth? I'm really, like, feeling the ice and something. You know, like, because when I get partially melted ice, and, like, it's small enough to get pulled up through the straw, and I'm like, ooh, I'm dying, Squirtle. Get hosed, get staticked. I forget seltzer is made of paper. Truly a Twitch stream full of neurodivergence. Also, waters down the drink and makes it less enjoyable. No, that's the thing is, like, I like ice in my drink because it does have subtle changes in the flavor. Granted, most of my drink intake is sodas of some sort. I have learned that the bubbliness of sodas just kind of helps me mentally for some reason. I don't know why. But I like ice in my sodas, but not particularly in my, like a lot of other stuff that I drink. But even before it melts, I feel like ice does slightly change the flavor of a drink. Not necessarily watering it down, it just changes the flavor. But I feel like it's a really good balancing flavor palette with the amino acids of carbonation. But I feel like that's definitely one of those things that varies from person to person. Bull. Protein. Hamlet in my Animal Crossing would be so happy. You know, I find it really interesting how the gym leaders were handled in the black and white anime. Because basically, like, the first, I think, 5 or so gym leaders that Ash fights are in the order and stuff they are from the original black and white. But then, like, the back half, they give him the gym leaders from black 2 and white 2. So I think he fights Roxy as, like, his 7th gym leader. And it's really interesting what they do with her because, like, her ace Pokemon is a Coughing. Which, like, if you know anything about how her voice thing was changed between regions, that would make sense. But the thing is, like, the Coughing kicks a lot of ass, and it's just surreal to see a Coughing in the Pokemon anime actually getting to do cool stuff and be strong. Because, like, so much of the first 2 seasons was, like... Or the first 2 arcs, I should say. Was just, like... Coughing and Ekans and their evolutions just getting, like, one-shot by unevolved Pokemon and shit. Water at different temperatures tastes very different, yeah. Also, speaking of stuff from the first generation anime, the first episode I ever saw, which I found out later was actually like an experimental pilot episode, was the battle aboard the Saint Anne, where it like ends with the Saint Anne like falling to the bottom of the sea or whatever. Because in America, that was the first episode broadcast, and then I guess it was supposed to be like a teaser for how exciting the series could be or whatever. I just thought I randomly caught it in the middle of the series. Because, like, this is far back to the point where, like, I think it was at, like, 7 a.m. on, like, UPN or something. But, there's this one guy who has Eradicate on there, and he's got, like, this super stereotypical southern accent. And it's, like, weirdly stuck in my head as, like, semi-vocal stems or whatever. So it's just, like, I have to force myself not to be like, Eradicate, hop a fang attack. Eradicate, a jump kick. I'm pretty sure I've said eradicate a jump kick in that intonation on stream without even noticing I did it until afterward. At least once, but probably more. It's weird that, Eradicate, a jump kick! Yeah, well, that's the other thing, is Eradicate does not, and has never learned jump kick at all. And that's not what he orders Raticate to use in the Japanese version, so I don't even know how that happened. But then again, like, the 4Kids script, like... Okay, it's dubious how much the people making the Pokemon anime, like, OLM in the first... Basically before Hoenn, it is dubious how much OLM even played the games, or was just going off, like, you know, official notes and all that stuff. And it's even more dubious how much 4Kids Entertainment ever played the games. I feel like at best they had a list of move names and what the Japanese moves in Pokemon were supposed to be called. You know, basically to keep naming consistency. But even then they didn't really do that. They repeatedly would make moves just way weaker. Like calling, like, Thunderbolts or whatever in the Japanese version Thundershock. Going off based on vibes and nothing else. Kinda. A retrospective. Ayo. I guess you could say I'm a retro gamer. You see, it's funny, I do mostly associate myself with playing retro, even though I probably do actually play a pretty even split between, like, retro and current stuff. But it's just, like, I always have my Switch 2 plugged in as my main console, just because, like... It's so freaking easy. Oh, no! Propel! Ah! Ah! Why would you do that to my beloved Rhyhorn? Hi, Cole. Local Fox here to be dumb. How are you doing today on this lovely Tuesday evening, Cole? God damn, the encounter rate in this place. So this is a fucking PS1 Tales game? I guess it's my own fault for not having, like, a Diglett or Dugtrio on me to dig my way out of places. I don't want to pop an escape rope just when I'm right this close to the exit. No, it's Skies of Arcadia on the Dreamcast. I wish it was. It's a rat's nest. Did you ever find the last colorful screw? No, I don't think I ever did. I haven't played ZA for a good little while now. I didn't lose interest or anything. It's just like... There were other games I wanted to play, and I didn't feel like I was accomplishing much. I was having, like, I do want to go back to it and finish the, Distortion Pokédex and everything, and get the last colorful screw. But it's just, like... I felt like I would play the game for, like, 1 or 2 hours, and just due to bad RNG, would accomplish nothing the whole time. But I'll probably go back to it soon. Hell, maybe one day I'll just stream me goofing off in ZA trying to complete the Distortion Dex. I forget... Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but I forget that I can just stream literally anything I have that has an HDMI connection. I think what messes me up is a lot of what I've played on Switch has been stuff that's been like Game Boy and GBA and all that. So I forget that just I can just do all of this. The thing I need to do is find Latias. I love Latias, Sonic. Do what you want for a pirate is free. Oh, but I'm excited for some potential Dragon Quest news tomorrow. I honestly feel like it's just going to be mostly Japan exclusive merchandise. Maybe information on the remake of like 4 and beyond. I still think we're going to get literally nothing about Dragon Quest 12. Though it is really freaking funny because you guys probably know Toriyama has written more than just Dr. Slump and Dragon Ball. He did a lot of short series and stuff too. One of those is Sandland, which is supposed to take place in like a distant post-apocalyptic future. And it is really funny because at the beginning of Sandland, one of Beelzebub's like lackeys or whatever brings him a PlayStation 6. And he's like, oh, wow, a PlayStation 6 with Dragon Quest 13. But the way that the development timeline's going, Dragon Quest 13 probably will actually be a PlayStation 6 game. Also, keep in mind, this manga was released in 2000, so Dragon Quest 7 hadn't even come out yet. And the PlayStation 1 was still, like, the PS2 was on the horizon, and the PS1 was still the main system. Because the PS2 was probably out by the time Sandland came out, but yeah. Asking my cat, it's okay. I can still take time out to cut a worthless object. Toriyama being a prophet, for real. Going upstairs. I can't get out. This place is one big puzzle. Burglar Arnie. I knew a bug catcher with that name once. You know, honestly, that's kind of some horror shit, though. Like, breaking into a mansion, and it's just full of monsters that can kill you, and you can't find a way out. Like, I'm sure at least 50 companies have made that game on Steam. And it's just completely full of default Unity assets. Searching for a colorful screw that doesn't exist. Let's be real, if Toriyama were a prophet, nobody would take any of his prophecies seriously. Okay, the thing is, Toriyama was so prescient and so intelligent that he never took himself seriously because he knew most people wouldn't. And people will... Okay, this is going to sound weird, but people will take something that's a joke more seriously than if you say something like that seriously. If we don't get a 12 release date, then I at least want some character designs if possible. Oh no, my bag of loot! The switches here open and close alternating sets of doors. Well, also, don't forget that, like, Toriyama was actually pretty good friends with Dragon Quest creator Yuji Horii. And unlike a lot of other creators of long-running series, Horii is at least a little bit involved in everything Dragon Quest related. Like, the series is his baby. Who wouldn't? Freaking A, man. Propel has once again been afflicted with PlayStation Network. %100% chance of poison. I was getting so many yellow drinks today. Half the time, it works all the time. You know, they reuse a lot of the Pokemon cries by just altering their pitch and stuff like that. I wonder if it'd be possible to make a team of 6 with the same cry. I think it'd have to be Gen 1, because I feel like there's a lot less cry reuse in later generations, unless it's a Pokemon that's, like, deliberately calling back to an older one. Lost a match the other day in Champion because a burned Sneasler got 3 sleeps on me with Dire Claw. Damn. I mean, I know Sneasler's everywhere in VGC. She's the same 6 Pokemon. Okay, Maddie. I know Sneasler's everywhere in VGC, but I can't bring myself to be mad at it or get tired of it because I love Sneasler so much. Especially my incredibly cool shiny one that Maddie got for me. That is the one I'm using in Champions. Just be a fisher. Zinc. Fun fact with the vitamins and stuff, zinc was actually started in Gen 3. Because, you know, obviously for the vitamins in Gen 1, special defense didn't exist, so there was just the calcium. And in Gen 2, there's still just calcium. It's just that calcium raises both your special defense and special attack. Which I'm pretty sure they just kept like that, because I'm pretty sure they're on the same IV, and they kept it that way for compatibility with Gen 1. Could never be mad at Sneasler, but I can be mad at how the game is balanced. Horn Drill. Dare I splunk my Dinko? Will this Horn Drill technique propel me to victory? See, the thing is, I don't get luck like that. When I use moves like Horn Drill, they do not ever hurt. Except that one time. But that's it. July 10th, we christen the newly discovered Pokemon, Mew. A new Pokemon? There's more than 150? I don't believe it. Fuck it, Weeball. There's no way I'm hitting it twice. Guys, I think I'm gonna buy some lottery tickets. Mew is Christian? Okay. Listen, I don't think Mew's actually Christian. I think she just goes to church because, like, her family will be, like, really weird about it if she doesn't. Second Horn Drill has landed entirely for the funny. You know, if I hadn't said anything, it probably wouldn't have worked, so. July 5th, Guyana, South America. A new Pokemon was discovered deep in the jungle. Oh, that must be where all those Indian elephants that Ghastly and Raichu are out to get are. Nah, jokes aside, it's very strongly, you know, it's not even implied, it's just flat out said, you know, that at the very least Generation 1 and 2 very definitely take place in just normal reality that Pokemon happen to exist in now. Really is every Pokemon, so there's bound to be some of those Christians somewhere. South America? Like Texas? Yeah. Splunk Dinko's people. Thank you, Rain. If you could, Rain, would you mind posting that in the chips chat? The clips stream clips thing in Maddie's Discord, if you don't mind. Thank you. Clips and chips. You know, maybe my problem is just that I'm running everywhere. That's why I'm getting so many encounters. I do wonder if that's actually the encounter rate issue. Pizza ready. Okie dokie, get you pizza. 3? Okay, definitely not getting 3, but it's worth a shot. You are kidding me. You know, I think I'm deleting Horn Drill after this, just so I don't, like, ruin my streak. Pokemon Legends Pizza. Guys, I really want a pizza now. Why would you do this to me? Hi! I love Grimer's sprite so much. She's just so happy, look at her. See, even after getting stepped on by a rhinoceros, she's still in a good mood. Wait, I just remembered I have something for this. Okay, let's go back to the Pokemon Center real quick. I'm actually going to go ahead and switch out and get Zanks. The power repel compels you and repels you. Heard of grapes on pizza before. Apparently it's good. I was skeptical until I thought about wine and cheese, so maybe it's not that bad. That's fair. Can't imagine what texture it's be. That's the thing that gets me, because I do kind of like tomatoes on pizza, but depending on how it's like, you know, actual sliced tomatoes, not just the tomato sauce. The thing that really keeps me off of it is the texture. Okay, I think Saffron has super repels. Because you don't want max repels, those are a ripoff. They cost way more and they only cover 50 more steps. No, it's max repels here too. God damn it. Do I actually have to go to the Celadon department store to get super repel? Still want to try pineapple on pizza for character development? Well, that's the thing. I have so many issues with stuff like texture and all that like, I always just get my pizza with cheese. Max repels don't even repel all of my footsteps. What if you could, like, it would actually repel your footsteps, so, like, when you stepped off the ground, your foot would just hover there and not be allowed to touch the ground? Instead of the floor is lava, the floor is all just, like, bouncy. It's like Wacky Workbench or something. Okay, this is TM's. I could just buy dig and teach something dig. I do like digging. Ah, it's the float status, yeah. There we go. See, they're 500, so they're 200 less than a max repel, but they only do 50 less steps, so it's a much better value. Within the last year or so, I've started liking food that's weird and maybe kind of gross. Don't have a specific example, just like stimulates curious monkey brain. The math do math. I mean, you don't know if you're going to like something until you actually go try it, so it's worth a shot. Wait, I'm buying myself another dig. I am a doofus. Why didn't I just teach dig to propel so he can have a ground move? What's wrong with my brain? It doesn't even matter if I put earthquake over it later. I'm never using horn drill again. I don't want to tarnish my perfect record. Psychobiath likes destroying my pizza with as many toppings as possible. On a large variety of flavor and textures. It's like the other side of the neurodivergent spectrum for me, because like I want my specific foods to be like in their own little bubble where they have their one specific texture. Probably why I also like sandwiches and rice bowls as well so much. Now I do not want surprise flavors in my food. To the point where, like, I remember being little, and I don't remember exactly what was on the plate that I had ordered, but it had mashed potatoes and something else, and the mashed potatoes, like, because the other thing also had some kind of sauce or whatever, and the sauce was in part of the mashed potatoes, and I actually, like, got the butter knife and separated out the section of mashed potatoes that had touched the other thing and pushed it to the side on the plate and did not eat that tiny little portion of mashed potatoes that had another flavor in it. Pizza roulette sounds like it could be fun for like a subathon or something. You see, the thing is, flavor subathons aren't going to work on you, Rain, because it's like, oh, if you get this one thing in the roulette, it's going to be crazy spicy. And you're like, oh, that's good. Nom, nom. Like, we don't get the exasperated, horrified reaction. You're just like, yes, more spicier. Or you're like, oh, this is the killer, the most spiciest of all time. It's going to be, and you're just like, really, that's it? I mean, it's good, but doesn't seem that hot. Textures I struggle with are things that are too dense of a crunch. Things like fruit chunks and yogurt, wet bread with, like, extra ones here and there. It sits somewhere between fruit chunks, yogurt. Yeah, I gotcha. It's weird because, like, I am generally the same way, but I love fruit in my yogurt. No, you're 100% right. Rain eating Cajun food like you guys got one with a little bit more of a kick. Subathon where Rain can only eat plain white bread. So that's the thing, is like for Rain, the flavor must be strong. Because, like I said, like, not even joking, I'm the opposite in, like, the way that I will actually, like, because my mom would joke with, not making fun of me, but, you know, like, a little bit of jokes and, like, curiosity when I was a kid. I would literally just, like, take a tortilla out of her bag of tortillas and just eat a tortilla with nothing on it. Not cooked. Like, no butter, nothing. Jamila Rain, crackers and water. Genuinely, it probably makes you easy to cook for. That's another other thing. I really aggressively do not like other people making my food. Not because I think they'll be bad cooks or make it wrong. I just don't like it. Like, I can tolerate it at restaurants and stuff because those are just people doing their job. But, like, I don't like the idea of someone cooking for me. I can do that myself. But then again, like, I also really do not like stuff like getting massages. I don't like other people washing my hair for me. It's like, I really hate to be like, you know, the girl from a meme where it's just like, I just busted on one in her and now she's playing Mischief Makers on Nintendo 64. But like, the ratios. I want someone to think of the ratios. Okay, I hit the Mewtwo statue. Shouldn't have changed this one. Give me just a sec here. One of my favorite things to do for myself is around Christmas time, I'll just make myself some shakusha? Shakshuka? And it's one of the few things I can actually cook. It's because I do actually enjoy cooking for other people. I generally did most all the cooking at home, like, for Mom and stuff. Okay. Turn the Sweet Gear Stitch back on. Okay, I just had it backward. Diary, July 10th. Okay, I read that already. Okay. I cannot remember. February 6th, Mew gave birth. We nicknamed the newborn Mewtwo. Hey, Mewtwo and I are born in the same month. It's basically just sauteed veggies with spicy tomato sauce and poached egg with feta cheese on top. We got a max potion. This place is like huge. Really? I don't think it's that big. Like Zoink Scoob. Ninetales. We love Ninetales. I actually do. It's one of my favorite Pokemon. Even has a dog. Ugh! I wonder where my partner went. Ninetales and Arcanine are my babies. They are babies. They are so wonderful. As I'm sure you can guess from the fact that I have, like, a, you know, the level 60-something Arcanine in our Crystal playthrough. Hello, hey, LD. How are you doing on this lovely Tuesday evening? Did you have a fun birthday? Did you get cool gifts and stuff? I saw your little mini Karomi. Was that a birthday present? Repel wears off. 1 frame later, gets into a battle. Ninetales of Grace's F. I'd play it. But yeah, LD, we're playing some Fire Red, exploring the Pokemon Mansion. It's all spooky, and there's lots of stuff going on. We're reading journals about a Pokemon called Mewtwo. You know, it does kind of bite a little bit that, like, just because of marketing and all that, a lot of this stuff, even back then, was spoiled pretty early on. But it must have been really fun to be someone who's out of the loop playing these games for the first time, because I feel like they actually do build the suspense of Mewtwo up really well. Whoa, what's that? Pokemon can't keep things under wraps to save their lives. Well, it doesn't help that back in the 90s, these games had already been out for years in Japan, and the marketing team, again, didn't seem to know anything about the series or play the video games that much. Or, I'm sorry, they didn't seem to know that much about the series or really have played the video games. So they would just have Mewtwo, like, you know, randomly showing up like it's a regular Pokemon in a bunch of the marketing. I think the most infamous example is probably from the Japan-only Pokemon Pocket Monsters manga, which, yes, that's the one with the sarcastic Clefairy with the giant mouth and the weird visual gags. In, like, the first thing where they show Red surrounded by wild Pokemon, first of all, there's a good, like, about of the dozen or so that are shown in the panel, there's a good, like, 4 or 5 of them that just aren't real Pokemon at all. They're just some random monster. There's one that looks like a grass-type Golem, and Mewtwo's just there, on the first row, hanging out. The series, from what I understand, is still going today in Japan. But after, like, a couple years, they did kind of get all that under control and make it more consistent. It's still a ridiculous gag series, but it's, like, much more consistent with what Pokemon actually look like and act like. In comparison to how it used to be, anyway. Got a thing or two for the birthday, but it was very low-key. I wish I could have gifted you something. At the very least, hopefully, I can gift you something for next year. Big present was the Huion for myself. Hell yeah. How's that been working? I don't know if you're still fighting to the death with Windows or not. Okay, press that secret switch. Struggling to get it working on Linux, but not giving up. I believe in you. You'll have it working no problem. You're just cool and awesome like that. This part of the mansion's so annoying because there are 2 spots where you can jump down, and I never remember which one's which. And you have to come, like, all the way back up. But at least I can dig now. You'd stay, Miss Mousy. I don't really know, because I have slept most of today. I was off from job, thankfully. My mentor once lived here. Diggy diggy hole. Scientist Braden. But yeah, because I got out of bed at like, well, I woke up at noon, but I got out of bed at like 1:15 and then went back to bed at like 4 and got up at 6:30. Because I was mentioning it earlier on stream, but I went from the girl who never sleeps to the girl who cannot stay awake. Yo, I got 67 HP. Let's go. Sleep's good. I've been sleeping a ton too. Ran out of Vyvanse. I think I remember you mentioning that on. I'm probably saying it wrong. Vyvanse. But I remember you mentioning that on the Blue Sky. I do wonder if it has something to do with the weather change. Because, you know, once again, it went from like 70-something to 90, and now it's back down into the 70s. Is that right? Okay. Because, yeah, like, I was mentioning this to Maddie because I was watching some videos of... Gosh, I'm actually just gonna look at the message I sent to Maddie because I can't remember. I think it's like Jahara Jade or something. She's really cool. She like has like the big reactions to Pokemon and stuff that she loves. But I was like watching through some of her videos, and she reacted to Espathra. You know, the Gen 9 like ostrich-looking psychic type. I have been calling it Espartha for 4 years. And upon looking at it after watching like Jahara Jade's video, yeah, I've been saying it wrong. Dyslexia, man, it's something. It's been raining near me and that makes me super sleepy. Yeah, I've had a lot of rain here too. And in my chat. Just felt really disconnected from reality for the last month. Brain decided to add an R for no reason. Well, no, there is an R because, like, it's Espathra, and I'm saying Espartha. So I just moved the R halfway across the damn word. I don't like that Gen 9's 4 years old. Not a fan of that either, to be honest. So you're stuck? Try jumping off over there. Homie really said, don't know what to do with your life? Just jump off a building. Guarantees the rest of your life will be exciting. There won't be much of it, but it'll be exciting. Do a flip. Just reminds me, like, I don't remember if this was official or not, but it was like this, like, 1 or 2 page Superman comic where, you know, it has like it has a depressed teenager like on a building about to jump off, and, you know, the teenager's like, well, you're gonna try to talk me out of it, and, you know, like being all sarcastic at Superman and all that stuff, and he's like, no, you can go ahead. And the guy's just like looking at Superman in horror, and he's like, what? And he's like, yeah, I'll catch you no matter what. So you can do that here. We can go down from the roof here and walk back down. It's up to you. And it's just like, because I think the last panel is like the dude hugging Superman or something, but it's just like, I feel like that sends a really good message. Like, no matter how dark things get, I'll always be there to catch you. There was some place in Star Rail I just realized I was saying wrong for like a year, but can't remember which way was the right way. So I'm tapping all the way out of Hoyoverse. I especially since they've invested like $14 billion into AI shit. I'm just like, no thanks. I'm done. If I want to play big titty RPGs, I've got plenty of them that I've bought with my actual money. Said it in our chat, but I want to say it here too, but Espartha is a strangely common mispronunciation. Yeah, that is interesting that that specific mispronunciation is that common. Gen 9 was the first Pokemon game I actually played as a girl during my first playthrough, which is probably another reason I have a strong connection to it. And honestly, shocking someone out of suicidal thoughts, it's a valid tech on its own. Don't play, just listen to a friend yap about it. It's just like, it really hurts me to say that because a lot of Hoyoverse's stuff is very, like, a lot of neurodivergents have a very strong connection to a lot of their games. And it makes me sad that as a company, they just always, like, seem to want to just do the most anti-consumer, like, most just gross thing possible every time. Don't do Hoyoudar. Proud of you, LD. Though if you want some really cool RPGs with like exploration and cool characters, I have a long list of recommendations. One less Hoyo player, nature's healing. If you want two off the top of my head, any of the Xenoblade games are fantastic, have wonderful stories, wonderful characters, cool character designs. And with Xenoblade 2, there's no microtransactions or anything, but the way that you get like the recruitable Blade party members is actually through a random drop system. So if you want to scratch the gacha itch on your brain, Xenoblade 2 can be a great way to do it because there's no spending money or anything. Everything you acquire for like the new Blade party members is all done through gameplay. But all of the Xenoblade games, like all four of them, are fantastic. They have huge open worlds to explore with wonderful characters and stories. Also, the remake of the first Trails in the Sky game, it's not exactly open world, but it's got a lot of open exploration. The story's wonderful, really heartwarming and comfy. Yeah, Xenoblade 2, actually, Dizzy, is the same one that has... one of the main characters has dissociative identity disorder, and it's actually treated really respectfully. Oyo, try not to be problematic. Challenge impossible. Oh yeah, name one list. My Groshi list. Groshi, Maddie already said it. Same brain cell. Get back to Xenoblade. Mine. Perfect. It's mine now. Hell yeah. You can play Xenoblade 1 and 2 in any order. They do tie back to each other, but they do it in such a way to no matter which one you play first, you'll still kind of get the same impact. Though with 3, you can play it first, but a lot of stuff will make a lot more sense if you played 1 and 2. Also, don't be intimidated by people telling you that they're 100-something hour games. I mean, like, they have so much side content and extra stuff, you can put 100 hours into it if you want to, but if you just want to see the main story through to the end, that's like a standard 40-50 hours like most other RPGs. So it's not sticking you in like a Persona 5 hole where you have to do 100 hours just to see the end of the main story. I mean, I love Persona 5, but it's long. Follow a couple of people who make comics about their experience with dissociative identity disorder. Glad Xenoblade has subtitles so I can understand the accents. Want to escape from here and return to similar? Yay! Let's dig, Propel! I can dig it, baby! I can dig it, dig it, dig it. Well, with the Xenoblade games, if you do prefer Japanese audio LD, all the ones on Switch, as far as I know, all have the option to play with Japanese voices and English subtitles. Though they do this really obnoxious thing where some of the post-battle banter doesn't have subtitles. A lot of that's just like little jokes in the characters, like making fun of each other, saying goofy stuff, but it still kind of sucks that it's not subtitled. Shall give Xenoblade a shot. Might take me 70 years, but it's on the list. Well, hey, 70 years from now, you tell me how you liked them. Because the awesome thing of the Xenoblade series is the entire series is available on Switch. Island is so cool. I hope a volcano never erupts or anything. That'd be ridiculous. What's gonna happen then is the gym leader gonna have to go run his gym out of like a cave or something? That's silly. I don't see Xenosaga. I said every Xenoblade game, Cole. Maybe you should actually listen when I'm talking. You know, foxes have pretty large ears, so how come you aren't hearing me? I mean, as a mouse, I also have really large ears, and so does Rain. We do be big ear squad up in here. They're aesthetic. They're ear-static. Mice have tiny mouths. Not me, apparently. Just because Cole has large ears doesn't mean they're good at listening. Big Ear Squad! A skull, not a brain. A summoned skull? 2,500 attack points on one tribute in this economy? Shit, I meant to give Seltzer a lemonade and I forgot. Take down, ah! No! Rewind, ah! Seltzer, I'm sorry. And that was also a complete waste of time because I didn't get any EXP. Ah! Need subtitles for American accent English. No, it's fair, LD, because like I'm kind of the same way on some stuff. Like whenever I watch movies or stuff, even if I'm watching in English, I kind of want subtitles. Yeah, audio processing disorder, I have problems with it too. It comes and goes, like it's not always a problem for me, but like it kind of sucks because in work they always want to put me on call center stuff, and I'll be like having to make excuses and shit like, oh, I'm sorry, the speaker cut out. Could you repeat that, please? When the actual reason is like, you said it, and I heard you, and you said it just fine. My brain just decided it didn't mean anything that time. But you see, that's the secret weapon with anything. If you work a job that has like any kind of technical stuff, if you forget what you're doing or forget what somebody said, just blame the technology. Especially if you have to work with older people, because they'll immediately side with you if you blame the technology. Damn it, I pressed A too fast. Damn it! I keep expecting to have to hit the A a second time for the text box with the drinks to come up. I'm gonna have 100 fresh waters. Said it on Wit Stream, but songs especially have a hard time discerning a lot of what's being sang without reading the lyrics. I can have some trouble with that too, for sure. Rain doesn't register most speech, which is why streams are so hard to only retain 10% of what's being said. It's okay. Only about 10% of what I say matters anyway. Sorry, my ears glitched. What'd you say? Okay, I think I have successfully revitalized my lemonade. My lemonade. I can't use fly. I'm on a fucking roof. I think everything you say matters. Ooh. Looking to finding a subtitle program for my stream. That's probably something I should do at some point as well. I want to make sure even the hearing and auditory processing impaired can understand that I'm saying the word fuck really loudly and talking about video games that are too old to be on their parents' insurance. I keep forgetting I bought the repels. You guys help. Okay. Okay, so this takes me up to this guy. Okay, that's the room with the Mew book. Spicy hot take. You know, I actually had one in my head the other day. Give me just a sec to re-unscramble my brain. Favorite retro game, Pokemon X. How fucking dare you, first of all. Unscramble the eggs. Okay, for this hot take, and this is going to be one that, like, I feel like it's not as hot of a take as it might have been, like, a few years ago. But in general, I feel like the Sonic the Hedgehog series has always been consistently good. Even a lot of the games that are dogged on are fine. It's definitely had some growing pains and some issues and some jank for sure, but in general, most of the games that are jank are from eras where most of its contemporaries were also jank. I mean, like, for example, Sonic Adventure is no more or less janky than Mario 64 or, you know, some of the Crash Bandicoot games and stuff. And the thing is, like, people's disdain for a lot of the games are calling them low quality or something, and like, hey, there are definitely some duds. I'm not going to step up to defend 06 or Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric or anything like that. It's definitely had some sour games, but the series is almost 35 years old. No, wait, shit, it is 35 years old this year. Yeah, Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood I'm not stepping up to bat for. As a matter of fact, I'll probably step up to bat for that one the least because of how excited I was at the concept of a turn-based Sonic RPG. Who are you? There shouldn't be anyone here. Except you're here, bro. Brother. Fucking scientist Ted. You're really gonna start snark on me with a name like Ted? I'm kidding. Any Teds in the audience. I love and appreciate you. Not this Ted, though. Fuck this Ted specifically. You motherfucker. What did I tell you? Fucking Ted. I swear Seltzer always gets crit. Why does this keep happening to my poor little Raichu? Repel, you get in there and propel this motherfucker into space. Sonic Chronicles could have been good. It could have been, but it feels like, even if it were good, it still feels like it's just disc 1 to a much longer game. Guess you say Ted has no room to talk. I was trying to bait it into self-destructing while I was underground. I didn't forget it had levitate this time. Here's the 100% poison. Wow, I actually dodged it. Maybe that's my retribution for freaking Seltzer getting critical hit by everything. But no, like, in general, I think the Sonic games have always been really good. It's just that the issue with Sonic is not the quality of any of the games, or even the quality of most of the extended media and stuff. The issue with Sonic is that it's been so many different things in so many regions to so many people that, like, the fan base to so many have a completely different idea of what Sonic even is. Place just hates Seltzer. It does. Why would you hate my sweet little zappy mouse friend? He's just out here trying him best, electrocuting everybody, and there's nothing wrong with that. He puts the cute in electrocute. Ouch! Yeah, ouch yourself, bastard. A key? I don't know what you're talking about. I like the Chao giving buffs and stats. There's something honestly love. Well, that's the thing is, like, Sonic Chronicles having a lot of good ideas kind of makes its problems hurt even more because those good ideas were wasted. But yeah, like, Sonic's issue is not the quality of any of the games or anything. It's just that, like, a lot of people refuse to meet the games halfway on anything. They basically want whatever Sonic they grew up with. They, you know, if they're, like, in their late 30s or 40s, they want Sonic to be like the Genesis games forever. And if, you know, they're in their late 20s to mid 30s, they want it to always be Adventure or Adventure 2. And, you know, if they're, like, you know, in their early 20s and teens and all that stuff, they want every game to play like Sonic Colors or Generations. And that's not even getting into stuff like the Archie comics and the Sat AM and, you know, Boom, this TV series actually being really good. And I think that's why Sega is trying to make sure everything stays canon and stays accurate and all this stuff, because I think they want to avoid fracturing the fan base any further and keep stuff in line to where it all connects together as one singular thing. Found out recently via YouTube there's a team that's basically remaking Sonic Chronicles from the ground up. That's awesome. I'd be very interested to see it. Yeah, well, I mean, like, nostalgia can be fun to indulge in. Obviously, I mostly play, like, old games and stuff, but letting nostalgia take over just blinds you so much to everything, because you're not going to be reasonable about the magical experiences you felt when you were like 7. This is the thing, like, I'm very nostalgic, but I can also admit a lot of stuff I like is purely for nostalgic reasons. Absorbing all Sonic media. Sonic, cool. I mean, I'm also in that page. Because, like, I admit I'm not always 100% good about doing this. But one thing I've really been trying to do, especially in the last couple years, is engage with art, you know, games included, you know, on the kind of idea of what is this trying to say or do? Not what do I want it to be. Like, what were they going for? What was the idea? What was the plan? And I mean, like, I'm not saying I'm gonna not ever dislike anything. What I'm more saying is, like, if I do dislike something, I want it to be because you know, I knew what they were going for and I wasn't into it. Engaging with the art is half the fun. I feel like a lot of people just don't. Well, video games in particular are also uniquely cursed in the way that people do not view video games as art in the same way. Like, even people who say, oh yeah, games are art, what a lot of people are saying when they say games are art is they say the separate individual elements of a game are art, like the character designs and the music, etc. But they very rarely ever look at a video game as a whole as an art, because people look at video games like it's a service, like it's a McDonald's or something. And if they don't get exactly what they want from a game, they act like it was like they went to McDonald's and their fries were cold. We have to all we have to all universally get over this weird idea we have in our heads, and obviously I know a lot of you don't, and I really don't either, but the idea that video games as a whole are like disposable toys. And because, like, I feel like that's a big reason why, and I'm not going to say these are bad games or anything, but most games that get treated like they're art are the games that are the most like movies. Not because games that are movie-like are not real games, quotation mark, because that argument in itself is stupid. A walking simulator or a Last of Us is just as valid as art as, you know, a game that's built around interactivity like a Super Mario or something. But it's more that the only time games get accepted in the conversation of being a piece of art is when they're being the least video game-like as possible, and I think that's something that needs to be addressed. And I feel like a lot of the animosity toward games that tend to be more movie-like is because basically it sends the message that the less of a video game something is, the more respectable it is as a video game. The other Sonic I played was one of the Sonic Advance games. I just played as Amy and Cream. Going forward, every Sonic character should be female. Okay. Burglar Lewis. Stealing all the Lewises. Thank you for being so good, being able to concisely express your thoughts. Thank you, Rain. I try my best. I appreciate you too. Thank you. People going into Kingdom Hearts immediately thinking, oh, the story and characters are going to be dumb. That's such a gripe. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and once again, I can be a victim of this too. Is going into a game with like a pre-prescribed idea of how you're going to feel about it, because you're not going to engage with it properly that way. You're basically going to go for confirmation bias for anything that goes toward the pre-established idea you had. Ah, woo! There's a she-wolf in the closet. I bought 18 fucking lemonades. I was just really hitting that A button. Well, I have lemonade now. I was thinking Werewolves of London or Yamcha. Both things that are very cool. But I feel like a lot of Shakira's music on a spiritual level. I don't remember if I saved or not. I'm going to save right here real quick because I am actually going to get up and use the bathroom real quick. So I'm probably going to run an ad and play some music, and we will be back in just a couple minutes. Games that capture the feeling of being 14 in 2002 are unironically the most gripping. And I say that with no mockery of Sonic or Kingdom Hearts. Oh no, like, that's 100% valid. It's a great feeling. And it's weird that a lot of people who are ruled by nostalgia will also be the ones sarcastically making fun of Sonic or Kingdom Hearts when those games capture that feeling of being old enough to understand how things work, but still young enough to where your life isn't ruled by, like, societal norms.
someone who was 2 in 2002, I can only experience that through games. Fair enough. I'm going to go ahead and run some music and some ads. I'll be back in just a sec. Hi, cuties. Just everyone was rocking out while I was gone. Hell yeah. I hope you all got up and stretched while I was gone a little bit. DKC song that always gets me. Sticker Bush Symphony is, I kid you not, literally my favorite single piece of music ever composed. Not just in video game music, just in general. Welcome back. Thank you, Maddie. I'll let this one finish up because it's a Sonic Rush song, and I'm sure Rain wants to hear the entirety of it. Even though if I cut it off in mid-thing, she wouldn't say anything, I'll let the rest of it play. It's not that long anyway. I wish Sonic Rush and Sonic Rush Adventure had some way that they would be playable on a modern platform somehow, because, like, those games are so goddamn good. I need to actually sit down and play through Rush Adventure, because I've only tickled it a little bit. Unfortunately, I've only played it a little bit on an emulator. I still kick myself, because one time I saw it complete in box at a thrift store for $10 for Rush Adventure. And I just did not have the extra money to spend at the time, and when I came back later, it was gone. Sonic Rush, but never played it. I heard from people... It is very good. I would say give it a try, Maddie. If nothing else, just for the music. Star Force is on modern consoles. I'm sure the Rush games, I'm sure they could. There's actually two separate teams working on making 3D versions of Sonic Rush. I have seen that, actually. And I am very excited, though I did have something kind of in my head. Like maybe if they do a Sonic Rush collection, like official release or something. Like the Switch or Switch 2 version or whatever would let you like arch the Switch sideways in like Tate mode. So you could get like the original DS experience. September 1st, Mewtwo is far too powerful. We have failed to curb its vicious tendencies. I will say, like, as much as 4Kids has fucked up some stuff from the Pokemon, like, dubs and scripts and all that, in the first movie, the doctor, like, with Mewtwo, when Mewtwo's destroying everything and he's just standing there stoically while everything around him burns and explodes, and says... intended to create the most powerful Pokemon of all time, and we succeeded. And then it just cuts away to the lab exploding. That's raw as fuck. Full restore. I do have a copy of Sonic Rush I found while doing a run through some used game stores. Hell yeah. I still have my original copy that my mom bought for me in 2005, where I've pretty much 100%ed everything. That is a good fucking moment. Ha! The dodge. See, Seltzer is an evasion tank. He cannot take one singular hit, but he's just agile and cool. Like, Seltzer would be doing, like, the Breath of the Wild, like, perfect dodge into Flurry Rush attacks. Except the Flurry Rush would electrocute you. Sans reference. Evasion tanks are neat. I mean, I guess Seltzer is a lot like Sans. Gosh, the camera switch always jump scares me in this game. This is the only game that does it. This place is ideal for a lab. Look at all this space. It'd be ideal for a game room. Gosh, just like wall-to-wall CRT TVs, and each TV gets like its own, like Super Nintendo or Genesis or Saturn or whatever. Monks in D&D make for good evasion tanks. That makes sense. That makes sense. Bricky's your brick. Ooh.
But I mean, I guess Sans kind of is an evasion tank because, like, well, I guess spoilers for Undertale, but, you know, if you actually hit him, he gets his butt kicked instantly, but it's the actually hitting him part. See my future being foretold. You know, it's interesting how people consider Whitney to be, like, this super challenging boss. And yes, I know in my Crystal playthrough I lost to Whitney on the first time as well, because I really didn't prepare properly enough. But, I mean, that's her whole thing, is, like, Whitney is considered such a hard boss because she is a check to make sure that you're actually paying attention and using the tools around you. Because, fun fact, in Heart Gold and Soul Silver... This isn't available in Gold and Silver, sadly, even though the move is in Gold and Silver. But in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the Goldenrod department store sells Protect TMs. And, of course, pretty much almost any Pokemon can learn Protect, except, like, Regigigas. So you can actually completely counter rollout by just having one Pokemon with Protect. And of course, you know, there's famously the Machop that's female that you can get in the trade. What was that for? I like it here. It's conducive to my studies. I mean, honestly, I also would like a big open space with, like, no one and nothing to deal with around me. So, fair enough. TM14, it contains Blizzard. I can finally pop my bottles in the ice. A secret switch. I mean, I guess, you know, when any of us are younger, we had, like, our secret Game Boy or secret DS we'd keep by the pillow to play games under the blanket when we're supposed to go to bed. So I guess modern kids would have their secret switch. One secret key. Shout out to Switch 2 being an electronics product that released in 2025 and has a headphone jack. We got the secret key. We can get into the gym. TM22 Solar Beam. Trying to think here. I'm gonna pop one more repel and look around a little bit. Don't think I missed anything, but just in case. Not a headphone Jill, though. Society is still working toward that progress. But no, like, one of my personal pet peeves is that, like, obviously the headphone jack removal thing was started by Apple, so you would buy their wireless ear pods instead of just using your regular headphones you've always had. You can jack in and listen to music. You know, I actually do have the Battle Network connection on Switch. They will probably get strimped sometime. But, no, it has not had the effect of everybody just ponying up to buy expensive official AirPods or whatever. Because Samsung did it too and also released expensive headphones, and so did Google. No, the effect it has had is people having no headphones and entire rooms full of people just playing whatever it is they want to listen to at maximum volume, regardless of who's around them or what they're listening to. Just turning certain specific public spaces into actual hell for anybody with any kind of auditory issues. Love it, love it, love it! Congratulations, you made everything worse for literally everyone, but we might have made a couple extra dollars.
You see, as kids, we always thought the whole thing about Mr. Krabs selling SpongeBob for 1 extra nickel was a joke. If I ever buy earpods, that's your clearance to take the shot. I mean, I have several wireless Bluetooth earbuds that I use when I am in public spaces, but they're all the ones you can get for like $10 or $15 at Walmart. My ONN earbuds usually last me a good year or two, and for 20 bucks, that's fine. Rather listen to my mommy ASMR on headphones, thank you. The craziest thing to me about everyone I've seen who owns Apple, like the specific Apple branded AirPods, always, okay, like they'll have them just raw dogging them in their pocket with no kind of cover over them, or they'll have them on some funky thing attached to their keys, and I kid you not, they will just leave them unattended in places. Like, there are people at work who'll just leave their AirPods sitting there in the break room. I don't think people like me would be playing Lulu Yum in public, but that would be really fucking funny. Is it a good idea? No. Is it really funny? I think you know the answer. Okay, I know we have the secret key and we could go battle Blaine, but I want to clear out the swimmers on the route over there real quick first. I thought I had an X item. There it is. It's extra special, just like my chat. Full of wonderful cuties. I do like doing ideas that I acknowledge are bad ideas, but are really funny. Mommy ASMR, but it's not sexual. It's just someone being motherly and actually being loving and proud of you. Like, it's not sexy or anything. I just like just being acknowledged and cared about. Pretty nice. Maybe when my voice is like more convincingly feminine, I'll get into that market. I had a good mom, so I've got a lot to go on. The social repercussions only last until the sun explode. They'll eventually go away. Rough day, need cheering up type stuff? Cinnabar in the West has a lab for Pokemon, no kidding. My daddy works there. Melissa! Wait, you're supposed to wait. Cinnabar's a volcanic island. I heard it rose out of the sea when a volcano erupted. I swam here from Cinnabar Island. It wasn't easy, I tell ya. Missy. You know, it is so weird how all over the place Goldeen and Seaking are in Gen 1, and I feel like they're, like, of the Gen 1 Pokemon, the most forgotten. I am so disappointed. Pokemon have taken over an abandoned mansion in Cinnabar. They call it the Pokemon Mansion now. Hey. Hey, fight me, 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 fight me. Check out my buff physique! Swimmerdine. And Eiyuden Chronicles has a nice style. I really need to actually play that because I got Eiyuden Chronicle Rising. Wimpy. And I really do want to get the full game at some point. It's just one of those things that, like, it's always on my radar, but I keep just not having the opportunity to grab it. I remember when I was like maybe like 7 years ago when I had to buy new earbuds. Is basically successfully complete a character route to get to people to actually give me wired earbuds and not AirPods. Should have been buffing my Pokemon, not me. I mean, again, I'm okay with wireless ones, but it's like, that's just not always what you want. Item finder, item finder, item finder. Okay. Oh, well, I was standing right by it. Hell yeah. Anything else? No? Okay. My boyfriend gave me big pearls. A pearl necklace, even? Nora with a shoulder. They had the wired earbuds below the counter, and nothing I could say would make them not try giving me earbuds. Even saying the one with wires didn't do it. Found an IOU note. It's really difficult with stuff like that because you don't know if people genuinely aren't understanding you or if they're, like, deflecting on purpose. Because I never try to assume the worst because, like, in general, most of the time the least interesting explanation for something is the correct one. And, you know, generally, like, don't attribute to malice, which could be explained by ignorance. But sometimes it can get really frustrating. Oh, my pearls were in them. Scripted NPC interaction, for real. Will my pearls grow bigger inside Cloyster? There was like the whole tech section of the Walmart working to understand what I could possibly mean by earbuds with the wires. Just cannot comprehend the idea that wired earbuds could even exist. I rode my bird Pokemon here. Bird Keeper Roger. Talked about pearls, didn't send out Clamperl. You know, like Huntail and Gorbis are additional Pokemon I've never really gotten to use in a playthrough. And I kind of would like to, but it's just like, it's one of those Pokemon I feel like you have to not only trade as an egg from another game if you want to use it as your main water type, because you can't actually get them in any game until after you have Surf, but you also have to get a specific item and trade it to evolve the Clamperl. Artificial intelligence when natural stupidity walks in. So when AirPods are pretty new, so it baffles you even more. It's actually incredible in the worst way, something I actually expect like that from Walmart. They didn't have IKEA working there. I mean, I did work at a place that sold electronics and stuff like that. And I generally tried to be attentive to what people were asking of me. Oh no, what am I to do? My birds are exhausted. They can't fly me back. But generally, it feels like a lot of places seem to be interested in hiring the least qualified people for each area. And it's not even the person's fault. Are you on vacation too? Irene with her Tentacool. Vacation 2, more like PlayStation 2. I don't remember what eventually did it, but I got what I wanted in the end. It's more funny memory than frustrating. It was also sort of long. I wish I could afford a vacation. An unfortunate side effect of living in the United States. Well, final Thunderbolt. No mercy at all. Seafoam used to be a single island in the distant past. I'm not going to do a full Seafoam exploration yet. I'm actually going to save that for after Blaine, but I do want to try to catch a couple Pokemon. Being able to afford a nice sandwich is a version of a vacation. For real, though. I had a nice moment when going to buy Tomodachi Life. A girl behind the counter was like, "Is this like Animal Crossing with Miis?" And I got to talk to her about it a bit. That sounds really nice. It's weird, but I always kind of forget that, like, regular, non-chronically online people still know what video games are now. Because I'm so used to when I was younger, like, people only knew, like, Super Mario, maybe Zelda or Final Fantasy if you were lucky. Seal. Please tackle her very gently. Seal and Sfeel just hanging out being friends. They're really sealing it. Aurora Beam at this time of year? Okay, so I give off Seal or Sfeel vibes. I think a little bit more Sfeel, because I could definitely imagine you being cuddly in the same way that, like, a Squishmallow is cuddly. Guess we're gonna have to fight, Maddie. Yeah, I'm sorry. Get the life-size Sfeel plush. Yeah. Okay, apparently this girl is all about nap time. I guess we're not too different. That's the issue, Rain. I feel like with a lot of stuff right now is companies want to introduce stuff that's like upper market, which is fine. It's fine to have products like that because a lot of times you do get a lot of quality added on to those. But it's like a lot of companies want to introduce products that are upper market when nobody can afford them. Because a lot of the stuff, if it had come out 10 years ago, it would have been no problem. Well, maybe like 12 years ago. I feel like 2016, like the tail end of 2016 is when things kind of started to disintegrate a little bit. Expensive. Sorry, this joke wasn't rated by the ESRB. Covered with a light blue fur, its hide is thick and tough. It's active in bitter colds of minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And apparently she weighs 200 pounds, which is just fine. Seals are just chunky sea puppies. We love them. It's true. Okay, I said I was not doing the Seafoam Islands yet. I like Sfeel and Seal. Walreign's underrated. I think Walrein, like a lot of Hoenn water types, falls into the issue of it being a water type that you can't get until you have Surf. Was there really anything in here? I think Shelter is the other thing I would want, but I think that's like way deeper in there. Fish for Shelter? Okay, no, it's not in Seafoam Island at all, actually. I guess I gotta go fishing. 7th up because 7th loves Dugong. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. Also, in general, I think Seal's like color scheme and vibe fit 7-Up anyway, so it all works. Big Mouse yawns. Did I yawn into the mic? Oh no! I'm sorry. I usually try to mute the mic when I yawn. I think I like Walrein the least in the Sfeel evolution line. Big fan of Celia, though. I like all three. I think they're all cool. prosecuted for yawning crimes. No, I can't help that I'm an eepy little mouse. Twice. Ah. Celia's just big puppy vibes. It's true. Big puppy, but with a distinguished moustache. Yo, champ in making! The hothead Blaine is a fire-type pro. Douse his spirits with water. You better take some burn heals, too. Oh! Also getting the big heebies. Oh no, I use yawn, and now Rain's falling asleep. Rodent's yawning is so funny. I think the funniest yawns are bunnies, because bunnies look so cute and so baby, and when they yawn, it looks like some kind of horror movie monster. Because, I mean, it's not as extreme with cats, but when a cat yawns, you can still see, like, all of the very sharp, vicious teeth. And my mom would sometimes just watch Freya when she yawns, and, like, you know, just, like, all those teeth, and Mom's like, yep, that's a wild animal I let live in my house. Yeah, their faces just turn inside out. I was a thief, but then I went straight as a trainer. Can't relate. Bunnies are just Tokomon. Yeah. Burglar Quinn. Shit, I left Macchiato in the front spot. Oops. Old Burgle. Love cats yawning, they just become lamprey. Water pulse. Yeah, I know. I knew exactly who Tokomon was when you brought it up. I think probably the most well-known thing about Tokomon is its yawn/open mouth. Too fast. Oh, shit. Well, you got this, V8. Come on. Fuck. Okay, I still believe in you. Ah, yeah, I knew he'd pull through. Technically 2.5, because I basically have joint custody over my neighbor's cat by choice of the cat. I surrender. I get this uncontrollable urge to steal other people's Pokemon. Have I got the GameCube game for you? Pokemon quiz! Get it right and the door opens to the next room. Get it wrong and face a trainer. If you want to conserve your Pokemon for the gym leader, then get it right. Here we go. Caterpie evolves into Metapod. Yes. You're absolutely correct. Go on through. Okay. With Blaine's gym, you actually can do the quiz machines to skip the trainer battles. I'm not going to do that, of course, because I want to fight everything. But this quiz question was actually changed from red, blue, and yellow, because in those, the quiz question is if Caterpie evolves into Butterfree. And a lot of people had complaints about that because depending on how you interpret the question, yes and no are correct answers. It doesn't evolve directly into Butterfree, but it eventually does. Also, I'm also like Tokomon, but instead of being scared when I open my mouth, people realize I'm stupid. Well, they're wrong, because you're not stupid. You may be scatterbrained and neurodivergent, but that doesn't make you stupid. That just makes you, like, fit in here. Okay, wait. Move items. Okay, you have to go, like, all the way out. I do love the sprite scaling on the held items. Watch. Like, watch the berry. Yeah. Caterpie evolves into Venomoth, though? Oh, that's right, because Venonat evolves into Butterfree. I don't know, like, I understand where people are coming from with that, but I've never really seen the connection aside from Butterfree and Venonat having similar faces. Do you know that how hot Pokemon Fire Breath can get? I love Breath of Fire. That's one of my favorite games. Especially Breath of Fire 3. Super Nerd Eric. I still didn't take my Venusaur out of the lead position. God fucking damn it. Fire Breath, that thing happens when you eat a pepper that they think is too spicy. I feel like that's not something you can relate to, Rain. Bear evolves into Strife. You see, that's a common misconception. It's not an evolution, it's actually just moves transfer. Go V8, you can do it. And by it, I mean ram your head into a wall or something. Come on, V8, let's go. All right. Yo, hot. Oh shit, we're doing Toyotathon? You look at me, I remembered to get my Venusaur out of the lead position. Fire, or to be more precise, combustion, oxygen in the air, blah, 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 blah. I've studied Pokemon thoroughly. You can't win. Like an egg move? So who's breeding with Fair? Gainsborough. Can't wait to buy tickets and go to the Strife Fair. Every ice cream cone you get will fall to the ground before you even get one lick. Damn. Ah, good old Click Try Attack, one of my personal favorites. Red Bull Sweep. Just put the whole thing in my mouth. Oh, you don't gotta tell me twice. Just make sure you don't choke doing that. Not the intimidate. Whatever will we do? Continues clicking try attack. Apparently that was the right answer. My studies were insufficient? Wow, get hosed. Every Ferris wheel is a little too slow. Installs every 4 seconds with the metal creaking loudly every time.
Maddie, I think putting the entire ground into your mouth, that's just called being Galactus.
Pokemon quiz. Get it right and the door opens to the next room. Get it wrong and face a trainer. If you want to conserve your Pokemon for the gym leader, then get it right. Here we go. There are 9 certified Pokemon League badges.
No, there's like fucking 60 or something at this point.
I use Fire-type Pokemon. I like using Fire-type Pokemon. I just do.
Raymond. I don't think everybody loves this guy. I think Glowbox could definitely appreciate him, though. It's called being an efficient and out-of-the-box thinker. Like, for example, the innovative idea of clicking takedown when your only Pokemon has 1 HP left. Too hot to handle.
Too cold to hold. You call the Ghostbusters in control. Well, I guess we're gonna have to catch 'em all.
I wish there were a thief Pokemon. I'd use that. Not really a thinker myself, more of a thunker. If you ram into the wall enough, eventually the wall will break. Water. Alrighty, everybody grab your sugar-free, non-carbonated beverage of choice. Well, not non-carbonated, but non-caffeinated beverage of choice. I got my new water tumbler right here. It's some good sippy. Bricks, my favorite. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're bricked up. Hot dogs are also cold and have ketchup on them, but it's from an unshaken bottle, so... Ugh. Poliwag evolves 3 times. No, it technically only evolves twice. And also, if you battle the trainer, you don't have to do the quiz. I'm just doing them anyway because I can.
I know why Blaine became a trainer.
Pokemon cute. Super Nerd Derek. Hey, I'm Derek. It's me, Derek. Lemonade's just one of those little squirt bottles in them, but somehow they still have bits of stem. That's almost impressive. And there's a cotton candy stand, but they're all... This is just sounding like a regular state fair. This isn't anything special. Ow! Our leader Blaine became lost in the mountains, but good. Night fell, and when a fiery bird Pokemon appeared, it's Lytle allowed Blaine to find his way down to safety. State and strife are in the same word. Whoa. Are electric moves effective against ground-type Pokemon? Well, technically, if you use Soak on... No.
I've been to many gyms, but this one best suits my style.
Burglar Dusty. That is a very burglary kind of name.
Also being pursued by at least one horse that is not happy about you being there. It never directly attacks, but it's always looming and will close in if you stay still. This fair is just starting to sound like an indie horror game. Like, it frames itself like it's going to be some kind of Wii shovelware mini-game collection, but none of the rides work and nothing works, and then you just have to avoid this horse the entire time. Yowza, too hot! Ponyta, Ninetales, those are popular fire Pokemon. You can keep going, but I will also stop if it's intrusive. Pokemon of the same kind of level are not identical. True, they are not. You have Eevees and Ivies and Nature. And delicious cheese. I'll leave Red Bull in the lead for the moment. Fire's weak against H2O. I do like hydrogen and oxygen. Super nerd Zach. Basically a state fair with a horse that hates you specifically. Horf. Corn dots look really good with the hot dog in the middle has been replaced with an actual block of ice. Oh, snuffed out! Blue teeth, brain cell. Water beats fire, of course, but fire melts ice, so fire types beat ice type Pokemon. Completely ignore the fact that almost all of the ice type Pokemon are water types in Gen 1. Contains Tombstony. I'm gonna say no. I am the quiz master. The pig speech French. Okay, Maddie, that's a little too far. Tombstony. Yeah, it actually says Tombstoner in red, blue, and yellow. Lemonade. It is better, honestly. It's pretty funny. We got 64. Nintendo 64. Ha! I am Blaine, the red-hot leader of Cinnabar Gym. My fiery Pokemon are all rough and ready with intense heat. They incinerate all challenges. Ha! You better have Burn Heal. Tombstoner is what you call a guy who smokes weed and hangs out in graveyards. I have known goth stoners, actually. So, not too far off. Man, I sure do love clicking Water Pulse. Again, it's so funny to me that, like, the fire type gym leader is, like, in a place you can only get to when you have Surf. Like, I'm not even using Surf, but it's, like, base 90 power, so... It's like, I do know of Angel, but yes, do go on anyway, because your characters are wonderful, LD. You'll win at least one plushie from every game stand at the fair, but there's a 5% chance each one contains a dozen bed bugs. Ew. I always feel so sad for plushies that are ruined by, like, bugs or something, because, like, you can't really keep them. But they've met a tragic fate of pestilence, and it always makes me sad. Hang in there, V8. All right, Propel. You've got this. I'm propelling you into the limelight. Ow! Why would you do that? Oh, that's not what was supposed to happen. That's very rude, honestly. I feel like that bitch kind of read my inputs a little bit there. Oh, thunders your bolt. Ha! Get hosed. Played one of those games at a state fair once. Got a 10-foot-long snake plushie out of it. Don't know where it went. I think a cousin stole it. Cared more about winning a rigged game. I burned down to nothing. Not even ashes remain. Ha! The volcano badge heightens the special stats of your Pokemon. Here, you can have this too. Fire Blast is the ultimate fire technique. Don't waste it on a water Pokemon. Teaching it to my Slowbro. I have to get rid of plushies because I have too many and the saddest time parting with them. I can't do it. The only time... The only time I can get rid of plushies is if I'm giving them to someone I know really wants it. Oh, you can't talk to these quiz machines? Come on. My bed has become more and more overrun with plushies. That's just the life I have to lead. A photo of Blaine and Mr. Fuji. They're standing shoulder to shoulder with big grins. Okay. Vulpix or Charmeleon would be ideal for that move. The Strife Fair as well, they play a loud screechy noise over the loudspeaker at random intervals, never more than a 5-minute gap between them, but only you can hear it, with everyone thinking you're overreacting whenever it happens. Mots, you beat that firebrand! Are we playing Ghosts and Goblins?
Huh? Hey, if it isn't Mots! Look, it's me, Bill. Long time no see. Hope you're still using my PC system. Well, listen. Ever since we met up here, how about spending some time with me?
Spending some time with you how?
There's a little island for the south here called One Island. A friend invited me, so I'm on my way out there.
Oh, with your friend. Yeah. Sure. We're playing Labyrinths and Lesbians. We've been over this.
All right, then, let's go. My pal's boat has arrived, too. He sent it specifically here to Cinnabar.
Specially. I can read. I've done it before. He sent it here specially to...
to Cinnabar to pick me up.
Autism experience. Boat.
Here we are. This is one island. There are several islands around here, and this is one of them.
I mean, it is, in fact, one island. You are correct.
Friend Celio sent the boat to fetch me here. He's in charge of the island's PC network by his lonesome. Why am I telling you this now? Let's just go see Celio.
Okay, so this thing with the Sevi Islands, this is not in Red, Blue, and Yellow at all. It's also not in Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee. This whole thing with the Sevi Islands is exclusive to Fire Red and Leaf Green. It's the 1 of 7. But the thing is, like I said, all this is Fire Red and Leaf Green only. And the thing where Bill comes to pick you up, if you tell him no, you can actually just keep playing the game normally. So you don't have to go do this yet. You can come back to it later at any time.
Hey there, Celio. Bill, I can't believe you came out here. Well, absolutely. How's your research coming along? Oh, wait a sec. Mots, this is my buddy Celio. He's one dedicated PC maniac. Celio, this is Mots, a rising contender as the Pokemon champ.
That's really impressive. I hate to say it, but I have 0 aptitude for battling. Anyways, I'm glad to meet you.
So, bring me up to speed. How's your machine running?
It's running fine, but we're too remote out here. The PCs on this island just can't link with your PC, Bill.
Oh, yeah, let me take a look-see. Hang on here. I think we can make it work. Let me help you, okay? Mots, can I get you to wait for me just a bit? Actually, can I get you to do me a favor? The island next to this one's called 2 Island. There's a guy there that runs a game corner. He has a thing for rare rocks and gems. We keep in touch, being fellow maniacs. Can I get you to deliver this meteorite to him?
Mots, if you're going to 2 Island, please take this. Try pass. It's a pass for the ferry service serving the local islands. It'll let you travel between islands 1, 2, and 3. You should have this, too.
I'll catch you later. Say hi to the guy for me. But we tried this.
Sorry for taking up so much of Bill's time. I'm also sorry for being such a poor host on your visit here. Can't leave a fare until you go on that one ride where you drop down like 100 feet, only stop by a single bar in front of you. Only there's no bar, and the horse is there. The horse doesn't hurt you. It's just having a good time. And there's also a water dunking game, but if you hit the target, the person gets very sad about it. You hit the target, they realize they never took their phone out of their back pocket, and they don't have a waterproof case. And it's their birthday.
Oh, a stranger here. Hi, where'd you come from? Pallet Town. I don't know it.
On this island, there's an enormous volcano. It hasn't erupted lately, so why not enjoy a hike?
Lately? I wish I could trade Pokemon with my boyfriend who lives far away.
And the porta potties are always occupied. Again, that just seems to be the standard.
Ah, sightseeing, are you? Is the warm climate here great?
Here we are on an island smack in the middle of nowhere. We're lucky to have an upstanding young man like Celio here. My granddaughter was in a tizzy over Celio's friend. Something about a famous Pokemaniac? Not sure what that means, but Celio is quite the man. I don't know if you guys have seen Celio's official art, but he's pretty damn hot, actually.
On sunny days, I step out and gaze up at the volcano.
BF and Unova, guys, I have a GF. She just lives in Kanto. I don't know what show it was, but maybe I'm just like Mandela affecting this to myself, but I could have sworn there was like this sitcom or something where like one of the main characters like, no, I have a girlfriend. She just goes to a different school. And you're like, oh yeah, what's her name? And like, he's like, Shamaran? And they're like, yeah, okay. And then in like the very last episode, you know, this like girl shows up and she's all like cute and stuff like that. And she's like, because I think something happened to the character guy or whatever. And she's like, oh, is, you know, he okay? And like, ma'am, who are you? You're like his sister. Because like, no, I'm his girlfriend. I go to a different school. My name's Shamaran. And they're like, I've never heard of long-term relationships. So it looks like an IT guy.
It's my daily routine.
Let me think. When was the last time Mount Ember erupted? I would like you not to be something that happened in your lifetime. Or ever. Kendall Road. Isn't that in the Amazon? Young people all want to go off to big cities, but I want to stay here forever. Reminds me of my twin sibling Hattie, who invented hats. Oh, that. I always thought that was a different Hattie that invented those. The usual PC services aren't available. Well, I'm leaving. Like, legitimately, I have to go get my Surfmon. I cannot leave. Well, guess we're not doing Kendall Road yet. Danger, fast current, fishing and surfing prohibited. I completely forgot that the first time you come to the Sevi Islands, you're just, like, stuck and get cut off from everything. There's an old woman who lives in a cottage out in the Cape. She gives the eye to Pokemon. It's a bit unnerving. And thus you're trapped forever. Before the year 2000, everyone's cranium was just bare to the world. Really wild looking back.
Not many people live on Two Island. There's an old lady who lives out in the Cape. She's been there since I don't know when.
Have you visited the Game Corner already? It's no good to go alone. You have to take a friend along. Well, I can't go get any of my friends because I'm trapped in these 3 islands.
That fellow there, he moved here from Celadon City. He started up a shop with his younger brother. You have to wonder if he knew what he was getting into.
Oh, hello. Welcome to my shop. We've only opened up recently. Our merchandise is limited, but we hope we can serve your needs.
I mean, hey, you can buy freshwaters that aren't one at a time. I will take it. And any person in picture for the year 2000 it just has their hair actually just styled like a hat. Boing, boing. Have you tried the jumping game? The Pokemon you can enter. Boing. Some go boing. And some go boing. And you know what? Did you know that? Boing.
I'm the Pokemon Move Maniac. I know every single move that a Pokemon can learn growing up. I'm also a Mushroom Maniac.
Bring me 2 tiny mushrooms or 1 big mushroom. And you do that for me, I'll teach a move to one of your Pokemon. If your Pokemon need to learn a move, I just need a mushroom or 2. So yeah, this guy is actually the move relearner in this game. And I think this is the only game where he has like the tiny mushrooms or big mushrooms instead of heart scales. Skip and Chomp. Joyful Game Corner. Oh, has Lostel gotten to today? She always brings me lunch every day about now. Ah, you there? Are you a friend of Lostel's? Have you seen Lostel around? I don't know where she might be. She should have been here long ago. Lostel's a cutie. She's got my looks. What if something's happened to my Lostel? Please find her. Please go search 3 Island.
Yeah, this is the game corner. How much sadder can this get? There's clowns. They said they'd be waiting on the island, so where are they? Hey, it's you. Is this the only 3 Island around here?
Try waking up before you crawl out of bed, you punk. This is 2 Island. Move it. Get your filthy motorbike out of my place. I do love this guy just riding his motorcycle into the freaking casino.
Huh? Oh, gotcha. These islands are confusing.
Hope she's not, missing. I don't know why, Maddie, but when you said that, I imagine you just, like, hanging your hand limply. Like, is she, Look at that. That punk scuffed up my floor. Listen, I'm begging you. You have to go to 3 Island if anything were to happen to my Lostel. My place is the house with the red roof on 3 Island. She may just show up late there, so I can't run off anywhere. That's why I have to get you to do me this big favor. So I took an IRL D&D stats quiz, or LNL, and this game of stats are interesting. I mean, I do hope she is, It's like that one Ed Sheeran song, like, they're lesbians. I legitimately thought that was the lyrics the first time I heard the song. Aye! Who are you? I'll call the police.
Hey, old lady, fork over some spending money. We're the Kanto Rider Federation. Vroom, va-va-voom, va-room.
Varoom? That sounds like a Pokemon name.
My bike's wimpy, so I have to make exhaust noises myself.
Strength 9, Intelligence 11, Wisdom 14, Dexterity 9, Constitution 7, Charm 11. You do have a lot of charm.
Hey there, how's it going? What am I doing here, you ask? Why, I'm prospecting for gold.
And silver?
When I strike it rich, I'm buying a house in Kanto.
See, this took place in 2004, or I guess it took place in 1996, but released in 2004 because the idea of buying a house was feasible.
Yahoo! From this day on, this island belongs to us.
3 Island, Kin Island of family bonding. Charisma. Fun random fact, the slang term Riz was invented by somebody who actually didn't know how to spell charisma, so they just shortened it. Let's crush berries. That'd be wasting berries. You can always find some berries on the ground in Berry Forest.
It's impossible to surf between the islands around these parts. The tides are too fast and treacherous. Hey, did you hear the news? The PC network can now link with PCs in Kanto.
Didn't know what that came about, but it's fantastic. Oh, thank goodness. I don't think I'm going to use any of them right now, but... Oh, hi, LD, starting up Tomodachi Live. Grab your stuff from the night market. I love those random blind boxes you get at the night market. They're so fun.
Are you the boss? Go back to Kanto right now. Ha! I just got here, pal. So the hostile attitude, that's mighty cold of you.
Your gang of followers have been raising havoc on their bikes. Mention jump scare. You better hurry, the horse is getting close.
Have any idea how much trouble they've caused us on the island? Nah, man, I don't get it at all. Look at this place. What do you do for entertainment? You ought to be thanking us for livening up the sleepy village. But hey, if you insist, you can try making us leave.
You cowards, so tough in a pack. If only there was somebody ambiguously between the age of 12 and 16 who could take care of an entire group of people in one shot.
What are you staring at? Don't you know it's not polite? You want to make something of it or what?
Yeah.
I like your guts. You'll be losing money to me, but...
Goon! Biker goon! I'd buy from LD's Night Market. Honestly, LD's Night Market sounds like it'd be like an indie game of some sort. You just have to work one normal overnight shift at the store without the horrors taking you over. Point and laugh at the gooner. It's actually the name of my adult shop. Vine Boom?
What is this kid? Aw, man, don't you dare laugh. Aren't you from Kanto? You should be on our side.
Two goons. Twin gooning.
Stop fooling around.
Stop fooling around, I have to know. Will you make up your mind and let your feelings show?
What's the matter with you getting all hot like that?
Sorry, I can't help myself.
Totally uncool, man. We invited the boss out here, but you had to mess it up. You embarrassed us, man.
Oh, I'm just fighting the entire goon squad, huh? Damn, Vaporeon just washed that Grimer clean off. Freaking power wash simulator up in here. Leave some hot for the rest of us. I'm sorry.
Boss, I'm telling you, you gotta do something about this kid. Been watching you, and I'd say you've done enough already. What are you, their friend or something? I guess you'll be battling me in their place.
Cue Ball Paxton. Called it. Upgrading mommy stock just for you. Oh. And they added this segment. The original Kanto games were missing more mandatory battles with poison-type Pokemon. For sure.
All right, enough. We'll leave like you wanted. We'll be happy to see the last of this boring island. Yeah, go right on hanging around with these hayseeds. Thank you. Those goons were nothing but bad trouble. Look, your Pokemon got hurt on my account.
Ooh, free filler star.
Got seriously impressive Pokemon with you.
It'd be fantastic if someone as strong as you lived here. I hope you'll at least stay here a little while. Beg your pardon? You're looking for Lostel? Lostel went off Todd Bond Bridge a while ago. It's gonna be like, I provide the mommy ASMR, but I exceedingly don't have a mommy voice. I don't know if I've ever actually heard your voice, LD. I'm sure it sounds wonderful, though. Anyone can be a mommy if they put their mind to it. True. It's not about the voice, it's about the care. Empty house. Rare rocks and gems are displayed. I need a mommy. I mean, I'm free. I know how to cook and clean. I could be a little mousewife. Me? I'm not Lostel. She's probably gone to the berry forest, I think. She picks berries here for making lunch. Your adult store doesn't stock grow your own mommy? I'm gonna train my Doduo in the berry forest. When it evolves, I'm gonna play the game on 2 Island. Is it true? Celadon department store several times bigger than this shop? Those bikers were about to trash this Pokemart. Glad they decided to leave. Milk, mother, I'd love to grow. Those take time to grow. Sometimes I buy medicine here. A lot of people heal Pokemon with berries from the berry forest. After all, berries are free and they never run out. Let's go ahead and grab a couple more full heals. Couple of revives. I think that should be good. Three Islands, actually the most populous of the islands here. It could be less sleepy. But I wouldn't want to see those goons like those bikers here again. I bought this house because I wanted to live somewhere quiet. Today, I think I'll go fishing. She really do be living the Story of Seasons lifestyle.
It's useless. I can't make this spoon bend with my mind. Maybe I really don't have any psychic power. Did you know about a girl gym leader in Saffron City? She is a psychic-type Pokemon, right? I admire her, I really do. I've heard she's one cool customer, and beautiful, too. I'm sure you can find dormant mommy bulbs somewhere. Nice fertilizer and quality water. I know a woman who can get you connected to a supplier if you want. Your new mommy, Alora Une.
Actually, Allura Une are one of those mythical creatures that I quite enjoy. Bond Bridge, please be quiet when crossing. Berry Forest ahead. Okay. Shuffle some cuties around real quick. Go ahead and get Mio so we can use his cut. Because I see little cut bushes with items I can get. Also, I know this is like kind of a uncommon opinion, but I've never really liked how the Sevi Islands are handled in Fire Red and Leaf Green, like randomly just abruptly interjecting into your entire playthrough. Always felt really awkward to me. Pee-pee up! Dang, I was hoping there'd be more hidden items. That and in general, the area design of a lot of the areas on the Sevi Islands feels a little bit cramped. I ended up taking an IRL D&D quiz because I came across Final Fantasy XIV classes and races and wanted to see which classes fit me the most. What happens if you kill them by accident? Band-Aid. Water in my plant. I do love that the sprite for the fresh water has like a little mountain range on it and everything. See, it's got the little mountain and the little clouds in the background. We'll show you our favorite Pokemon. Joy and Meg. Okay, let me guess here. Your favorite Pokemon is Sigilyph? Maddie, you are slowly descending into plant person body horror. Oh, Joy. Joy, wasn't that fun? Wasn't that fun? I hope we can battle again. Max Repel. Fun random fact about the first 3 generations of Pokemon games. If you don't want to do random battles, you can just do that. Slowly? Okay, fair enough. It's not horror, it's dinner. Dinner. Imagining giving them the wrong amount of fertilizer and the news picks up on like 20 dead mummies located in the basement of an adult shop. Well, they wouldn't exactly be like noticeable as human dead bodies. They'd kind of be like the homunculus of Ed and Al's mother from like the opening of Full Metal Alchemist. You know, this vaguely human-shaped collection of horrors. Yeah, made by mommies, for mommies, from mommies. Where are you off to in such a hurry? Violet? That's a lovely name. I mean, I don't want to brag about mine being bigger, but like, we both have eyes. I mean, come on. Red Bull EP. Done the funny D&D stat test. Okay, what are your stats, Rain? EP Red Bull is me. Strength 9, Intelligence 15, Wisdom 14, Dexterity 10, Constitution 10, Charisma 10. You know, I was really expecting her to go Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, but she just hit it with a double Ivysaur. Smash player. You're racing some wonderful Pokemon. If you keep going this way, you'll eventually reach Berry Forest. Yay, yay, Pokemon! Generally my default state, yes. Reference kit goes 3 to 18, if you didn't know. I kind of thought it was something in that range. Tuber Alexis. I like her Hatsune Miku hairstyle. Hatsune Miku? My throat's getting sore. Like, one thing I have actually noticed from my vocal training is that I feel like even when I'm not trying to sound feminine or anything, my default vocal register is slightly higher, which I guess is a good thing, but it's actually started to making, like, reach down for some of those deeper voices a little more strenuous. Crab. I do love some of these trainers with the idea of like this girl here just caught some Pokemon that she just would see at the beach every day and they just became her friends. What happens now? Did I just win or did I lose? I mean, honestly, that reaction is just playing, like, against a modern Yu-Gi-Oh deck when you haven't played for a long time. Your opponent just takes a turn for 15 minutes, and then you're like, did one of us win? I'm not sure what happens. My mommy said that I can't swim without my float ring. Requires actual stats of your physical capabilities. It makes sense, but I do not know those myself. You want to keep your deeper register, maybe start doing some vocal training for both higher... I will. It's just like, it's more that I'm surprised by it more than anything. Like I said, it's not hurting or anything like that. It's just more that, like, I just have to adjust, basically. Because the thing is, like, hitting the higher registers for, like some of the little girls doing the tubers and stuff like that isn't straining me as much as it used to. So it's just more, like, making sure I pace myself and stuff like that. Is Pictomancer a new class? Yeah. Ah! Me too. Do magic through PictoChat. This year, I'm gonna finally learn how to swim. The salty tang of the sea. I'm sorry, the what? From Lady Nikki. You know, I actually played Infinity Nikki when it first launched. It was a lot of fun. It's interesting, it's kind of more of a platformer than an action RPG. But I just kind of fell off of it because, like, the gacha isn't necessarily for new characters, but for new outfits and stuff. But it, like, forces you to do at least one gacha pull. You don't have to pay for it, but it forces you to, like, do at least one gacha pull for the tutorial. And that, like, really turned me off. So the last time I played it, got to see what that's about. I always do love, like, classes, like job classes in games that'll have, like, kind of an artistic leaning. I think it's super fun. So I'm at a point where I can level for Red Mage. Something smells unpleasant. Perhaps that reek is your sweaty Pokemon's odor. Wow, okay. My Pokemon smell amazing, by the way. Bitch. Okay, guys, I guess I'm gonna have to finally do it because it's becoming too much of an inconvenience. We're finally gonna have to overwrite Water Pulse. Hi, Chrono. How are you doing today on this lovely Tuesday evening? We're playing some Pokemon Fire Red. We just got our 7th badge, and now we're in the Sevi Islands. Actually, that's weird, Maddie. I don't see the artist badge either. You should still have it, though. Yeah, okay, when I click on you, it still shows... you got your artist badge, you got your moderator sword, you got, like, the Twitch recaps emblems... So all your stuff is there. Just weird that it's not showing up. You might have to go into your own settings and decide what shows up, Maddie. I'm not 100% sure. Doing okay, how is you? Artist only sometimes. So you drew the cheese cube. I'm kind of eepy, kind of out of it, but mostly doing okay. How are you, Chrono? So you know what? I'm going to put it over quick attack. I want to keep Water Pulse a little bit longer. Another spicy hot take. Should have known better than to put towards spicy, something that you'd be able to choose, Rain. EP as well, bit out of it too. Understandable. Okay, give me just a sec, Rain. Crave the spice. No, no, please don't come here. Please stay away from me. Coffee is just bean soup. Tisha. She has her own Splunk Dinko. Okay, you've won. Will you please go away? A Pokemon bit through my swimsuit. I can't get out of the water. Listen, we're both girls here. It's fine. If you... I won't let anyone else see. I'll look, but I won't let anyone else see. Oink. Welcome to Berry Forest. Be friendly and share berries with others and Pokemon. Not seeing any way to have the badge show up. That's so weird. Maybe it's something I have to do in my settings. I'll look at it later. Okay, Rain, my spicy hot take for you for this redeem. The Grand Theft Auto series, really not that great. Aside from the fact that there's a lot of content, I don't really see why it's so popular in particular. Maybe it's just because, like, there's nothing I'm particularly looking... Like, okay, the things I would want from a game are the things that the games just do really poorly. Like, the gameplay is usually not very good. The characters aren't really interesting. The stories aren't good. And the game structure is all, like, side missions and a lot of that stuff. Because, like, when the side missions aren't fun and the story's not fun and the characters aren't cool or interesting, then there's not really anything there for me. And, I mean, I feel like most of the people buy the games just to fuck around and not really engage with anything meaningfully, and that's fine, but I just don't think that's enough to carry the games for me personally. Especially when there are other much more enjoyable games for me that I can also go derp around and do whatever in. And not only that, but the fact that in general the series' overwhelming popularity basically had the game industry locked in this, like, disastrous spiral of trying to make everything edgy and adult and M-rated for, like, literally 15 years. Like, the GTA series existence is basically partially responsible for how boring and bland so much of the PS3 and Xbox 360 generation were. Pretty mild take. Well, to be fair, that take's become less spicy very recently. So I think a lot of people have kind of started to also question the appeal. And yes, yeah, I totally meant anyone who plays it should absolutely just explode. They should be launched out of a cannon into the moon. I mean, and there's another thing, and this thing in particular isn't a fault of the games exactly. I mean, honestly, its long-term effect on the industry isn't a fault of the games either, really. But the games are very clearly intended to be satire, and you are not supposed to like the characters this game is about. And I feel like so many people who are attracted to those games absolutely do not understand that it's supposed to be satire and you're not supposed to look up to these characters. I mean, what if they're taller than me? Get a stepladder. Counts my stack of dollar bills from the stepladder sponsorship. I think that's just a ladder. Oh, you. Max Ether. Vino Nat. Goku in the distance. I get it. Guess we know who's who in your Ace Attorney concept. You are a wild, berry-loving Pokemon. Can I be that one guy? You know the one? Oh, please help. A scary Pokemon appeared there a little while ago. It kept scaring. It made Lottsdale scared. I'm too scared to move, but I want to go home. Oh no, here it comes again. No, go away. It's scaring me. I want my daddy. Oh, the freaking, I always forget that Hypno has that ability. Yeah, that concept existed for so long that neither of the characters match the gender. Well, they kind of become their own characters anyway, so. Sorry, but whenever I find a Pokemon that, like,
has some kind of part in a story or a side quest that's actually catchable, I always want to catch it. It carries a pendulum-like device. There was once an incident in which it took away a child it hypnotized. Not good for PR. Shit, I actually had something in my mind and it completely just blanked. Bucket of red 40, not quite. I don't know if that qualifies as a drink. It's a liquid, ain't it? I mean, I can't argue with you there. Paint? No. BRB making a Tomodachi food item. It's a bucket of red 40. Why would you do that? Oh, Maddie is actually playing Tomodachi Life. Hi. Maddie also revels in chaos. Yeah, that's fair. I, of all people, should know that by now. Moonshine. Actually, no, Moonshine's a good one. Let's go ahead with that. What I was thinking of was, like, something on the lines of that. It was going to be a brand of alcohol, but my brain just completely flatlined. Skies are falling outside right now. It was like, yeah, I actually had a pretty hardcore thunderstorm earlier today. It actually let up maybe like 30 minutes before I was streaming. I'm already asking for a baby. I've been married for 2 days. That was scary, thank you. Hostel came to pick some berries. You can have this. What's your name? Lostel's scared, so can I go with you to my daddy's house? Okay, let's go home.
So you rescued Lostel. How can I thank you? Lostel, darling, forgive me. Daddy didn't know you were so scared and in trouble.
It's okay, Daddy. I got to be friends with Mott's. Listen, listen. Please show me you being cool again.
Oh, what's that? You're saying that this is for me? How did you know that I'd love rare rocks and gems? You sure know how to make a guy happy. Oh, I see this is from Bill. You have to thank him for me. You know, you've been fantastic. I want you to have this.
Got an extra moonstone, hell yeah.
Alright, I'll get the game corner running right away. You have to come visit with a friend.
We'll get the games going soon for you. Still can't get Trick and his crush to ask each other out. You don't have to be all dodgy. You can just admit that it's me. I get a thunderstorm overnight. The rest of the week is hot and humid. Ugh. Can't tell you how grateful I am that you rescued Lostel. Thanks to your feat, the people of Three Island have changed their attitudes toward Kanto people. And I'm from Kanto, you see. The people of Three Island helped me add to my merchandise. Oh, we got our little soda pop. Sure, why not? Let's buy fucking 5 sodas. Just force them together 24/7. It'll happen eventually. Like, game mechanics-wise, she's not wrong. Alrighty, let's see here. Back to Juan Island. Because, yeah, if I recall correctly, I think with Magmar, it was actually moved from... Because Magmar's in the Pokemon Mansion in red, blue, and yellow. Well, red and blue. Magmar's not in yellow at all. But I think they moved it to Mount Ember in Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Oh, hey, Mots. What kept you so long? Been out having a good time? We got it done. The PCs are up and running. The job went incredibly quick. Bill's one amazing guy. Oh no, there was almost nothing left for me to do. Celio, I have to hand it to you. You've learned a lot. Oh, really? Well, there you have it. I'm finished with the job. We should head back to Kanto. Celio, be seeing you again.
Mots, I'm really sorry that we sent you off alone today. I promise, I'll show you around these islands some more.
Hey, wasn't that a long cruise? My buddy Celio seemed to enjoy your company. I'm sure he'd welcome you if you were to visit him again. If you have a tri-pass, you can always take the ferry from Vermilion Port. All right, thanks for your company.
Yeah, like I said, it's always been weird to me that they shoved that entire little side arc just right into the middle of the regular playthrough. The reason why it's even weirder to me is because this game bends itself over so fucking backward to be loyal to red and blue, even in ways that are obnoxious. You know, like, the most infamous being that, like, you know, if you get a Golbat's friendship or high enough, it'll start to evolve into Crobat and then mysteriously stop, even though you have no control over it doing that. And, like, you can't get anything like Slowking or Steelix or Bellossom in a main playthrough either. But like I said, with Steelix and them, like, you know, those items aren't even available till post-game. But, like, Golbat is definitely the most egregious. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm super hungry, and like I said a minute ago, my throat's been hurting a little bit today. But I am going to go ahead and actually try to remember to raid. I figure we'll go ahead and raid Star. I noticed that they're online. And Cole's already in their chat. We are all the Eep. Yep. Rest your bones. I will try to rest them. Well, I try to remember where the buttons on a keyboard are. I'm innocent. I don't mind you double-dutching raids, Cole, or double-dutching streams. It's not that big of a deal.
Making sure I spell their screen name right, because the raids are very picky. Wahoo! Alright, guys, you have a wonderful good night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye. Later, cuties.